Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some simple furniture in Roblox. I don't think I've done this yet, and I'm not very good at making furniture, but this should be fun. So first we're going to make a bench, and if you don't know how to use F3X, that's what we're going to be using. Just click number 1 and pull out your F3X tool, and if you don't know where to go to get F3X, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the game I'm playing, and if you do know how to get F3X, you're probably already playing your own building game. Okay, now that you have your build tool out, I'm going to just place a block, and there's two ways to get to your block placing tool. You can hit J on your keyboard, or you can just mouse over to this toolbar and click on the plus sign. Now we're going to go over to the left side of your computer screen and click normal block in this little block tab and click the ground. Now, I'm going to make this look wooden, and how I'm going to make it look wooden is with the gear tool. See this little gear over here? I'm going to click N on my keyboard, which gets me there way faster than clicking over there. Now, I'm going to set it from plastic over here on the left to wood. You can set it to wood or wood plank. I'm going to set it to wood plank. It looks pretty nice to me. And now I'm going to paint it with the V tool. See how it says V, paint bucket right there, the symbol paint bucket. I guess letter V, but V is also a symbol too. On the left side, I'm going to color it a brown color. I'm going to look through these colors to find a really nice one that I like. It's weird that this color looks like this color. No, it doesn't. I'm lying. Okay. Now that we have our color we want, now we're going to resize and reshape our block we have here. And how we do that is with this tool right here, the X tool or the bubble tool. And I'm just going to try and reshape here. As you can see, I'm having trouble reshaping because our increments over here on the left are set to 1, and we want to set those to 0.0001. And basically what that does is changes the distance that the reshaping can travel through, and that's a brief explanation of what that does. Now as you can see, I'm shrinking my block a ton, and I'm going to stretch it back out a little bit. You can see now we sort of have a panel or a plank. And now I'm going to go over here to the Z tool or arrow tool over here on my bar and go back over to the left and change its increments to 0.0001, which will allow me to move it up and down very easily. And I'm sort of going for one of those nice park benches that you'd see in one of those big parks in your town. So you'll be able to envision what I'm trying to build. But just follow along with me here. So now we have our panel or plank, and we're going to copy this. So what you do to copy is you click on what you want to copy. It will appear yellow or the color of the tool you're using. Hold Shift C. It makes a copy, and then you just pull your copy out of the original. Now I'm going to resize, and you guys know how to resize now, the X tool or the bubble tool. And I'm just going to make it look a lot more like a bench. Slowly making the pieces. I sort of want to give the back that curve all benches have. And I feel like usually the sides are attached and have something attached. So I'm going to copy and resize my copy here. And give it a little bit of density. See how I did that? How I made a copy of that and stretched it into here. You can see how that looks really nice. Now I'm going to use the move tool, the arrow cross tool or Z tool, see it there, to make a copy of this rear piece here. Rear means back. This back piece, and I'm going to pull my copy forwards and make our front leg. And now what I'm going to do is copy both of these pieces, actually all three of these pieces at the same time, by holding Shift, and then you click on the pieces like this. And then hold Shift again and C. Now you copied them, and now you can move them all to the other side of the bench. Now we have like a basic train station bench or public square bench. It looks like it. It also looks like an old church bench from pre-1850s, I would say. Now the next step that we're going to do is I really want to make it have that rear curve you see in old pictures. So we're going to copy one of these rear pieces or back pieces, click on it and hold Shift C, pull it up, and slowly shrink it down with your resize tool. Shrink means to resize. And this is the resize tool up here, the X and bubbles. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly copy and move around. And as you can see, I just entered into using a new tool, and the tool I'm using here is the rotate tool. And that is called the C tool or rotate tool, and it has this little ring around it over here. And I'm just going to slowly try and give this some shape and make it look like a curve. And all I'm doing right now is copying and bending with the turn or rotate tool. As you can see, it's already sort of getting that shape, and I sort of feel like, from my point of view, it's at that perfect shape. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Shift, drag, click your screen, and drag your mouse, which will select all the pieces we just made. I'm going to check for any extra pieces, and now I'm just going to copy. Remember, Shift-C to copy, and move my copy over to the other side. Now all we have to do is run a piece across that. And what we're going to do that is we're just going to click one of these pieces we already have, hold Shift-C to copy, go to our resize, resize it to be really thin, and just run it along like this. But it wouldn't be one of those old-fashioned benches without filling in the whole back. So the next step is we go down to the next level, Shift-C, resize our piece, and just slowly fill in these gaps and sort of make it feel like one of those benches or look like one of those benches. Might need just one more up here. And now for this part, you guys can just follow along of what I'm doing. And for this part, as you can see, I'm out of the curve, so all I have to do is click on this piece and hit Shift-C and copy it a bunch of times to fill in the bottom. So it looks like one side of the Krusty Krabs. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add the seats. So on your build tool, go to the plus sign tool or the J tool, go to the left side of your screen, click where it says normal, and find the one that says seat, click the ground. Now this is a seat, so when in your game, if you're in your own F3X game, when you stand on it, you'll automatically sit. But because I'm in Whimsical Building, I have to hit E to sit. And now I will sit in it, and you can see it's a seat. And now we just slowly slide our seat onto our bench. And then resize it to fit. And there we are. It looks just like a normal park bench. Get our second one. That side sticking out a little bit. This one wasn't, but that's alright. You can see this is our finished product. Looks pretty nice. It's like a 7 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10. I thought I wasn't actually going to do that well on it. And you can see if you want to make a different style of bench, all you have to do is hold Shift and then click on these lower pieces, as I'm doing here, and just copy out the different style bench. As you can see, this is a bench with no back. And I think that's the only two styles of benches that there is. If there's any other styles, you guys, I'm sure, will go crazy making whatever benches you please. Now, the next thing I'm going to make with the time left in the video is maybe a few different kinds of seats and some tables, because I don't know what other types of furniture exists. So now I'm just going to take one piece of my wood that I use to make the bench, or blocks to make the bench, and just start making my seat. So what I did to get this piece is I just clicked on it and held Shift-C and then dragged my copy out. So I just copied it out. And now I'm going to take my copied piece of wood and use the resize tool and just slowly make a seat. And I'm going to make my favorite kind of seat. And it's sort of a boxy seat. And we're just slowly going to make one side of it. I'm going to stand in it here just to see how I want it to look. And I might even change its material here in a second, but wood's an okay material. And you'll slowly see the seat come in. And I copied this side and dragged it over there. And I copied again right here to make the back. As you can see, sometimes this type of seat can get a little bit too hunky and big, which is what's sort of tough about it. Now I'm just going to copy one of our seats, or seat panels, from one of our benches, and bring it over in here to our normal seat, and resize it in. And make sure that I fit in my seat. You can see here that this arm of my seat is a little off because you want your character's arms to touch the side arm holder thingamajigs. Or the arm rests. That's what they call them in cars, so I guess it's an arm rest. Sometimes you'll get stuck in this kind of seat, so what you want to do is you want to hold shift and click on these two arm rests and tell their collisions to be off. This thing that looks like two pieces of paper and has the K by it is the collision tool, and if you tell it off on the left side, collisions will be off. Sometimes it still doesn't work, and if it still doesn't work, you might just have to delete the thing you built to get out of it, and then undelete it. Odd error. Sadly, there was an error, and I'm just going to have to remake the seat to show you guys. Sometimes there are odd bugs. Let's not have the seat in it. Okay, so basically what's wrong with the seat is you don't want your Roblox character to push up against the armrests, otherwise they get stuck in the seat. So you want to make sure that when you're making a seat in Roblox, never have these side blocks push on your character, because for some reason the collision tool, which is supposed to make a block like invisible, does not work on something like this. So now you can see here, the back is supposed to be like as thick as the chair is. And this is one of my favorite kinds of seats. I don't know why, but it's just pretty interesting. Sometimes it's cool to have like the back tall, but it doesn't look very good with the back tall. So that's one kind of seat you can make. I don't know why there's two blocks there. And then we have our benches we just made. And then we have this seat. And now I'll make a table. And a really easy way to make a table in Roblox is to go to your add tool here, the plus sign, and then change the part type over on the left side to cylinder. And right there is a table. We just rotate our cylinder with the rotate tool. We paint it a brown color. And we go to the gear tool right here, the end tool. And we set it to be wood plank. And there you made a little table. I know that seems a little bit too simplistic, or simple, but that's how you can make a table. That's a side table because it's to the side. And it's weird that we don't call a table that is in front of you a front table. But yeah, so there's a side table. Another thing you can do to make a table like this look better is you can flatten it out using your scaling tool. And then make a copy of it. Right, see how I made a copy of it? Remember to copy is Shift-C. And then you want to move the copy out of the original. And you can actually shrink your copy. Now they do this in real life too. And it sort of makes a cone shape. Or a pyramid shape. And then when you copy this, so Shift-C, copy the bottom. And then shrink it again. And right now how I'm shrinking things evenly is on my resize tool. I have the both on. You can see how I have on the left side I'm mousing over both. And what you want to do is shift your resize tool back to normal and hook it up like this. And as you can see, I've almost made a Krabby Patty table. But it looks a little bit more interesting if you want your table to look more interesting than just a cylinder. So here's what we had. We had a cylinder like this, and now we have something that's like carved out. And we have our seat we made, and we have our benches we made. And that's all the time I have in this video, but in the next video I'll make a few more different types of furniture. Goodbye.